Okay, it's time for a new product unboxing. I'm kind of excited to open this guy up. This is a custom strap I got, had placed an order for. It's from Delugs. Check out the website. No affiliation, no, I bought this with my own money, and there's no, sponsorship, or it's not a paid promotion or anything. This is just straight up something that I buy as, or all my other reviews and stuff that I post. It's out of money out of my pocket, things that I'm interested in, and I just share my thoughts and experiences with certain things. And there we go. And I've been looking at Deluxe. They have actually quite a number of interesting strap designs, some pretty cool colorways and things, and the prices seem fair. And they also do bespoke, custom straps. And I've been thinking about getting one or more done, but in particular, I have been wanting to do one for this watch that I have today. It is the TAG Heuer Aquaracer Solargraph in titanium, and this is pretty awesome watch. Yeah, I just get the elephant out of the room. Yes, it is an expensive solar quartz movement, but watch rather, not necessarily just a movement. But I don't really care. It is what it is. Sure, if I could save some money, I would think it would be better, but I really like it. I always thought it was pretty good looking, and I think the movement is really accurate. It's pretty much self-sustaining. Just give it some love in the sunshine, and that's basically it. I like the design. I have some sort of not affiliation, uh, I guess history with TAG. It was like my first luxury watch that I bought for myself, and that was almost the only watch that I wore for 12 years straight, until somehow I lost it after I moved into a new home, doing some housework, and I don't know what the heck happened to it, and it took me like about a month or two before I realized, wait a minute, my watch is missing. And that was, I was wearing watches, but then cell phones were becoming more prevalent, and just using those as your main watch in timekeeping was became the thing for a while. It just kind of these felt like, okay, why would I need to wear this when it's just convenient just to have the phone and have everything else on there, right? But just been just I don't know, buying and enjoying watches has always been a thing. So, and I'm back fully in it. And anyway, so this watch I really enjoy. It's been, again, accurate. I like the design. Great size for my 7-inch wrist or so, or 6.9, depending. It wears, I think, pretty perfectly. It's thin, very low profile. And I think the angles work really nicely. I think I mentioned this before. Something about this looks kind of a bit of a mix of like a AP Royal Oak, the really angular bezel. It's really flat, but then you also have these parts that kind of pop out on the sides. It's sort of Nautilus. This is not an integrated bracelet, but I think they integrated the bracelet to the case and actually to the clasp pretty well. Just like, I think that's the way they did the design here, like this part of it inside the clasp here. It just kind of works with just kind of fitting in with the mid-link area. It just kind of looks like it's not a mid-link, but it looks like just these lines and shape just kind of go together, and it just as this female end link kind of just works into it. And I don't know, I mean, just the way it fits on my wrist, there's no gap, it doesn't overhang. It's great. It's light, of course. It's titanium grade 2, and it does get some scratches. I don't know if you can tell, some right there. Whatever, it's gonna happen, and I'm fine with that as long as they're not too ugly. But some decent wear, it's okay with me. It's just it's just supposed to be kind of a tool watch, and I'll get into this in a second before I get into the strap, which I really want to get into really soon. But yeah, this is great, and I do plan to keep this watch mostly on this bracelet. It's just comfortable. It just looks good and works all together. Especially, I really like the quick micro adjustment, and it's basically what I guess you would consider like what Rolex does with some of their bracelet class. It's like just a quick fold out, like like that. You know, it just kind of pops open and just gives you about, I don't know, another 3 to 5 millimeters of extra length. Like from here, it pops out to there. So maybe it's less than that. Maybe it's 4, but it's just enough, at least for me, to give some relief to my wrist when it does swell, and it's super easy to use, and no fuss. You don't have to like kind of figure out, okay, did I make it too long or too short? You know, when you're trying to do the like the T-fit on the Black Bay 58, for example, like my bronze. It's a great class, but you know, you have to admit sometimes, like if you're sliding that thing, you might have overdone it, and then you got to kind of, you know, work it back. But this one is just 2 settings, and that extra bit is just enough, and it works. And I just like a simple, you know, dual button deployment clasp like this. I don't really need a fold over. It's not really necessary. I like this. It's just much cleaner and quick to use. But anyways, going back to this watch and then to this, you know, I plan to keep it on here. It's very comfortable. It looks good. It's the titanium. It's very it acclimates to your temperature, and if it's really a hot or cold day, it's never uncomfortable to wear because it doesn't get too hot, it doesn't get too cold. It just fits with your body temperature, and you know, so unlike steel, you put something cold on, it takes a while for it to warm up. And if it does get warm in the daytime, sometimes it can feel a little too warm with stainless steel. You know, if it's a particularly hot day, and it will make you even more sweatier, I guess, underneath the watch. Versus titanium, you don't really get that because it kind of just, it just, there's a symbiotic relationship in the temperature between the metal and your skin. But anyways, even though I think this will be on this mostly, I was thinking about trying it on different straps, and I do have, like, say, hang on a second. I bought this, I think, was it cheapest needle strap? Yeah, it looks like it. And it's like a, what do they call this? Light teal, I think. Or is it mint? Forget, but you know, this works with that color right there pretty well. And I think if I wanted to do something nice and bright, that would work pretty well. I haven't actually tried this yet, oddly enough. I've had this for some time. It's just, I really like it on this bracelet, but I should try it. I don't know why. I should before, well, summer is basically over, but it's still pretty warm. But I should just try it. I think that'll can work pretty well. I'm trying to adjust the lighting here. Anyways, something like that. Let me see if I can mess with the, there we go. This might be a little bit more accurate to what I'm seeing color temperature wise. So you can see that actually worked pretty well with this. I think I've just went like a nice bright contrasty strap, but we're not talking about this. We're talking about Delugs. I wanted to do, when I looked at this watch, I know the Aquaracer design is basically primarily considered a dive watch. I mean, most of the other models really are around a, you know, a dive style functionality. This doesn't even have a loom pip though on this part. And they actually think, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of market this one as kind of like their field watch, actually. Go anywhere, do anything, rugged, you know, outdoors kind of watch. And it can be, for sure. And maybe that's why they didn't bother putting the loom pip here. They kind of deviated from the dive watch aspect of the Aquaracer model, I guess, in general. And that's fine. And I was, you know, I would never really consider this necessarily to be a dive watch for myself. I have plenty of other dive watches that can fill that, you know, space and design and look for me already. That's fine. I just like the way this looks. It looks really cool. But I have to say, it does look like, to me, this almost feels like a motorsports watch, if anything. It has a, I don't know, something about the angles, this matte finish, the flatness, these, it's just sleek. And I think it's the number, like the way the numbers are, the font they chose, it's a little bit, in my eyes, it looks just a little bit on the wider side, like, especially not so much the 10, you can't tell, but like all the other digits, two double digits here, they look a little bit wide, not super stretched out, but that gives it a sort of sporty look. And then when I look at, especially like the way Solargraph font is written right down there, it's really kind of elongated, kind of stretched out, horizontally. It almost makes me feel a little bit like, sorry about the damn glare of this light. Where's that coming from? It's coming from the back one, isn't it? No, it's coming from this guy over here. Sorry, let me move it over here. And yeah, so it has that. Let me see if I can zoom in better. It has that kind of elongated looks, and it's not quite like Porsche writing, but it sort of reminds me of that. So something about that gives it a very sporty motorsport feel. And then it got me thinking, well, this could be a pretty cool, like, motorsports or driving kind of watch. And with that in mind, I started thinking that this would look cool on a perforated rally strap. How motorsports more motorsports theme can you get than with a leather strap like that? And I started thinking, I would like to have one. I don't like the ones with the big holes, like there's like 3 big holes in it. I never liked that particular kind of rally strap. It looks too open in the middle, like these holes punched out of the middle. I don't like that. I like the ones where it has the smaller perforations going, at about, I think there's usually 3 rows of them going down the length of the strap. So I was thinking of that style. Because the watch is mostly matte, I wanted something not shiny. I don't want a shiny leather like this wallet here. No, that wouldn't quite work. And I was thinking it should be something like suede would probably be the best way to go. And I'm thinking that this will look good if I do this in a similar gray to the dial. I think that would be kind of cool. Now, I think it could work with a black strap, a black perforated suede strap, but then I think a better fit, if I could, is get as close to this gray as possible. But it does get dark too, so that's why black could work. But I wanted to have a nice contrast stitching that matched this kind of what do this TAG Heuer call this color? I want to say it's called polar blue or something like that. But then it's like just a very light blue, and to my eyes, it's almost like a light teal, or even potentially someone might call this like a mint or a seafoam kind of color to this. And I was thinking that would look good with like that kind of contrast stitching going down the strap of that, of a gray suede perforated leather rally strap. And I looked around online and I could not find anything specifically like that, of course. Really, I don't know. I looked a lot of places. Nothing was made in that configuration. I could find a gray, I could find a black leather, or in suede probably, perforated strap, but they didn't really have much in terms of either is this a match stitching or is this like a white stitching at most. So I decided to go bespoke. I was thinking a strap tailor, but you had to email them, I think, and then start a discussion, give them ideas of what you would like, and then I guess they'll work with you to come up with something, and figure out how much that will be in the end. And that seemed like a longer and a little overly involved process than I wanted to deal with. And then I just wanted to see if there's, I just explored some more, and I found Delugs, and I noticed they have a place you can customize, and I looked it up, and you don't have to email them and tell them and have them get back to you, and I guess them throwing out suggestions and then see if you approve it, and then they'll make it. I guess that's how it might be done at Strap Tailor. I don't know. I've never had it done. But with Delugs, they have like a system where you just make a swatch, a strap that you want, and there's so many options, and I'll get into that. But basically, I was able to configure all the stuff that I think I wanted to try to make something that looked cool that matched this watch, and the price wasn't too bad. I think it was around 140 something dollars, and they said it might take about 13 to 12 or 13 to maybe 18 weeks to from the time of order to before it will even be delivered, I guess is what their wording was, something along those lines. But I actually ended up getting it in about less than 12 months, almost certainly less than 2 months. It was more like eight, not 12 months, 12 weeks. I mean, it was more like 8 weeks. So, yeah, maybe 8 or 6 weeks. I don't know. It was like 2 months or less, or a month and a half, somewhere around there. I got to check my original purchase date, but it wasn't quite as long as they estimated. And so let's get into it. I should have a fast forward button for this in the intro, but hang on, let me get a pair of scissors. Is it still recording? Oh, okay. Anyways, here's the packaging it came in. I think from DHL. Yeah, that looks pretty sticky. I'm not going to mess with that. Hopefully me cutting across the top will not damage the strap itself. It should not be butt up against this side. And I'm excited and nervous because I want this to be the strap that I customized, and it turns out to be what I wanted. And we'll talk about that if it is. It is. Oh, looking pretty good. Yeah. And here we go. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Can you guys see this? Let me see if I can get the light down at a better angle. Hopefully, is it bright enough? Sorry. The temperature change again. Let me see. I gotta go just a touch warmer. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see the other half. There we go. So yeah, the lug width is 20 millimeters. And so yeah, this is what I had made. So, and I do have quick release. Did I actually order that? I guess I did. I guess I didn't want to mess with it. Although I have to admit, part of me kind of worries if, when you do quick release, like this part inside here, that's between that lever and the outside, this part can seem like it could get compromised over time, but whatever, just use some super glue, right? Check this out. So this is what I had made. I looked and this configurator is so detailed. So I can't say everything right now. You should go check it out if you're really interested. But like, I'll try to go, run over some stuff that you can do. Of course, you can specify what size strap you want, right? 20, 22, 19, whatever. You can definitely specify the length of the strap, of course. So it's the best length for your wrist. So you can tell them like this one you want this long and this one there. I just kind of went with a generic set. They have some standards, like their standard or regular measurements that I guess generally work for everyone. Maybe it's for their main strap line anyways, that it's not bespoke. And so I think I mostly went with stuff like that, but the areas that I wanted to specify were definitely the size, and mostly the material. And I went through the amount of like choices, and of course I look for um, a perforated design, and they have designs that they have there. So what you can do is draw from, like, you look through their catalog, and uh, you find a particular style of strap that they have there that you like, but maybe it's not in the color. Then you go back to the configurator and you try to find that same model of strap design, and then you can build off of that. And that's what I did. I don't remember what this is off the top of my head. Sorry about that. I should have the notes out, but I am busy, and I have um, yeah, I just didn't have that time to go over the list of stuff here. Um, maybe I can open it up on my laptop on the side, and I'll read it off to you in a second. Let me check something. Okay, I found my order. So I'm gonna quickly read it off to the side here. Hopefully this will stay in focus, and hopefully you can hear me. I'll try to move the laptop a little closer. So first off, yeah, they said that it will take 8 to 12 weeks before the strap is sent out. So I'm pretty sure I got it within 8 weeks. Style, Rally Slim, leather, or I chose Alcantara. So that's the closest thing to suede, and because I went a motorsports theme, I think that was so appropriate to have Alcantara, because they use that for like Alcantara seats, the racing seats, steering wheels, trim inside the car, very popular. So Alcantara was perfect for, I think, that sporty suede texture, look, feel, for a motorsports design thing. So the Alcantara color I ordered was dark gray, and that was the other thing. Some of the other leather options that are not this specific one, Alcantara, they had like some other smooth and other kind of grains of leather. They don't always have all the colors of leather that you may necessarily want, but they do have a lot. But I definitely wanted a dark gray, and this seemed about right. Hang on a second. I am going to try and hopefully not drop my laptop on the ground, and I'll try to do this. Forgive me here. You can choose the lining of the leather, so the inside. It could be other kinds of leather. It doesn't have to be all Alcantara. And I decided to go with black rubber. And I figured, that would be very sporty too. This is black rubber. I think, especially, it seems appropriate to do a black rubber. It seems like a sporty material as well. And also, if you're worried about sweating, then this will help it not make, if it was a leather lined inside, it would probably get nastier quicker, I'm assuming. So having the rubber on the inside, I think, was a smart deal here. And see, I think so. That was cool, and that's cool. The stitching went all the way through, I guess, of course. Keeper style, one fixed and one floating. So one fixed like that, and one floating, and that's the classic way. But you can have it both floating, or maybe just one keeper. These are the things you can also configure. The keeper leather, same as the top leather. So see, you can even, like, these keepers can be, sorry about the focus, these the keepers themselves can be a different material. Maybe you want to go with a smooth leather and a different color too. Sorry, I'm trying to look at two things at the same time. Keeper leather, same as the top leather, so that's the thing. Keeper width, 5 millimeters default. So the width of them, so you can specify how thick or wide you want the keepers too. That's cool. I figure I just go default. That should work. Curved lugs, no. I think what that means, if you want this to be curved on this side, so it could be more of a, this. Sorry about the damn focus. Instead of a straight end, you can have it curved. Some watches have a very tight fit, and that might be a more appropriate choice on the lug end. quick release spring bars, so you can choose to have that, or you can not. You can do standard spring bars, so that's cool. Buckle finish, regular buckle, brush silver. And this is the finish that I got. They didn't. I wish they had a bead blasted finish to match the watch, but the closest thing would be a brush finish. It's the least shiny. It's not high polish, and I think just stainless steel. They don't have it in titanium. And I wouldn't necessarily want it in titanium. I mean, it'd be cool if I could, but I was thinking, all right, the main thing is the strap itself. So I think this would be fine being in brushed silver. See here, strap in style. That's another cool thing too. At first I thought I was going to do, because the watch is angular, right? At first I put in straight, or box cut or something like that. I forgot. There was three. I think there was three options. So there was that. There was like a rounded, or maybe the ones that go to like a curve to a point. It's kind of very traditional. And then there's this one that's called trapezium. And I was thinking, you know what? I think that's it. I want something that's kind of a trapezoid shape. So it's got this angled cut here, and then straight. So it's not. If a straight cut would be just like this straight across, and that looks too harsh. And I wanted something with an angle because this watch has angles. So I think that was appropriate choice to match the watch in that fashion. You can choose the lug width for the lug and the buckle. So this is 20, and I have it down to 16, which is a nice taper. And I guess you can choose if you want it wider or maybe no taper even. Length, long end, short end. So this one is, I have it at 125 and 75. And of course, like I said, you can choose different lengths. But that seemed, from what I was going off of some of my existing straps, and the measurements that they gave kind of fell in between some of them. But this seemed like the most appropriate, based off of the majority of the straps that I currently own, two-piece straps. I think generally they're maybe more like 130 and 80, or maybe 85 or 135. I forget, but I did try to go over some of my more popular straps that other ones that I've bought in the past, and to try to find what would be the most appropriate size to make these. The thickness, lug in, strap hole in, leave blank for default. So I left it blank, but I guess you can choose the thickness of this too. Like if you want this thicker up here, and then it can taper down to something thinner, you could do that. But I think I have it all at one thickness all the way through. I think that's what that detail is that I spec'd out. Leather thickness around spring bars, regular, approximately 1 millimeter, default. So yeah, I guess even around, I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, I guess that has to do specifically around the spring bar, so you can make this part of it, sorry about the focus, make this part of it thicker or thinner, depending. And I just went with the default. And you can specify the number of strap holes. So all these holes, traditionally I think there's usually 6 from what I've counted on most of my other straps, but on all of those straps I guess they default to 7, so I just stuck with 7 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's the default. Distance between strap holes, 6 millimeters. So you can specify how you want these spaced out, so you can be tighter for more, even more custom fit, or you can space them out more if you think that you're gonna, you need that a wider jump in adjustment between holes. So that's kind of cool. So you can really fine tune how well you can adjust the strap, tighten it or loosen it based off of how close the hose is. I mean, that's pretty cool. Distance between lug to middle strap hole, leave blank for default, which I did. Between the lug to the middle strap hole. I guess like how far do you want these holes to start from here to down here, so you can move this set maybe up or down the strap a bit. I think that's what that means, unless you're talking about these holes. But either way, I think you get the idea of how much you can customize this. Shape of strap holes. So I have circle as default. So these is what they're talking about. Yeah, circle will be fine, but you can have them as, I think, something more like oval or you know more oval or elongated. So yeah, even the shape of the holes you can define. Um, Thread colors, others. So yeah, this is where it comes in with the stitching, and I decided to go other, and I specifically asked for aqua green, and that was like they have a lot of thread colors, but that was seems to be the closest to. You can probably see it better on this side, closest to my watch. I think that was a pretty good choice. I did make a quick email to them to change it at the last one, minute after I ordered it, to one that's just a little bit darker or more saturated, to a jade green, because I thought, I didn't have the watch on at the time when I was placing the order. I was looking at pictures that I had on my phone and things off the internet, and sometimes the lighting captures it differently, and began to thought maybe that the one that I picked was too desaturated. It might be like, I'm not going to see any kind of this color, and it might look too almost white. That's why I thought maybe it would look too washed out. So I went with a jade, which was just a tad more greener. I think it looks more like, almost like, not maybe this saturated, but like this Patronus green on this Lego. Maybe a bit lighter, somewhere between that and what I chose. But then I looked at it again, and I started thinking, you know what? I think my gut instincts to go with the lightest kind of their light aqua green was the choice to actually stick with. So I I quickly emailed them back and told them to switch it back, and I'm glad I did, because I think that's exactly what I was looking for, to match the color that's on this watch. And accent stitching, none. So I'm thinking, I'm not even sure what the accent stitching is. Maybe that means you can choose, maybe this stitching down here could be a different color, or if you have like the other kind of stitch style where it has, I guess they consider vintage, whereas you don't have these contrasting ones going down, but you have like the ones that go at the ends, right, one right here and one right here. I don't know, but I didn't have one. And edge finishing, paint it tone on tone. So you can even do the edge finishing differently. And I wish you can see how they did this. It looks pretty nice the way it looks very clean to my eyes. I'm not seeing anything bad, like really crappy about this. It looks pretty clean as far as I can tell. What do you guys think? So I just had it match the color of here, just to make it so, but you can make this a different color too. I was thinking maybe I should do this in like that light green or something too. That would be kind of cool. But I guess I didn't want to overdo it, because I already had the stitching, and to have it again on the side would be maybe a bit too much, if you know what I mean. So I didn't do that. And yeah, I believe that was it in terms of what I spec'd out. Maybe I'll put a list of it in the description so you can read it over yourself. I didn't explain it, but what do you think? I think these look pretty nice, and it's not stiff at all. It looks like it's subtle and ready to break in, and I think, oh yeah, this could look the business. So let me get this on and try it out. I guess there's nothing else to look at here. You just want to get a closer look at the way it's made. And I think overall the quality is pretty good. I was worried that, I don't know, if the rubber would not work or mate with the leather, but it seems pretty seamless from what I can tell. Nicely done. It's really pretty soft and supple. Hopefully it'll hold. Not bad for 140 bucks. I mean, I think if I were to do strap tailor, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but I believe they probably start in about $100 more. And I don't know, that might take more work. I like the fact that everything was on a menu. Like when you go order it, you can just go through it and check off and enter in all the information that you want, and then that's it. And then if you can figure that out in your head and you got a basic pretty good idea of what it should look like, then hey, this turned out pretty much what I was hoping for. I was scared it would be too different, you know. It wasn't exactly as I spec'd out, but overall I think it's pretty sweet. So I'm gonna finally pop this off, and I'll come back and show you this on the strap. Maybe I'll try to show you this. I already took off one of the lugs, but I use this one from Horofix. It's their angled ergonomic angled tweezer, spring bar tweezers or something like that. Really nice. It's kind of pricey, but I wanted a good pair, and I got a recommendation from one of my friends. He has a Black Bay 58, and those are notorious for being difficult to remove, and you want a good pair of spring bars. Tools to do that, and he had bought this so that he could finally remove his bracelet off his Black Bay 58, and it was a charm. And the thing is, it's just the good thing about this is that the tips, they run more parallel to each other, as opposed to some of the ones you might get off Amazon, which I did have before, which has the it actually angles out like this, and it has like a screw thing to tighten it up or down. And but the thing is, those tips, one, they're cheap, so they wear out and break pretty easily. Secondly, they're rounded, they're like a tube, so you have to adjust it, both the length to be equal as well as the angle that either one of them might be on. And then also the angle like this to each other can be off too. So there's a lot of variables, and this one is just very simple. It's all dismounted, very clean and straightforward, so there's no play and any guesswork as whether they're lined up and equal length or at the same angle and axis or whatever. So I recommend these. Are strong, good fine points. They really do grip good, and you just have to hopefully let me see if I can zoom in so you just see. If I lose focus, sorry, because I am concentrating on removing my bracelet as people do, and try to concentrate and not scratch it. I'm gonna try to move it up camera. So I hold the back, and then I make sure it's lined up, and I squeeze, and I see it move, and I pull it out, and there you go. Sometimes this will hold on to the spring bars, and again, when they're more parallel to each other instead of those cheap ones that kind of angle more, they're more likely to keep an even pressure on that spring bar on both ends without it slipping, versus the ones that are like this, they could slip, and because obviously it's an open angle, and the spring bar in between could go whoosh, flying off into oblivion either direction. And that's basically it. And I have these keepers that I like, and to help keep the spring bars to that. So let me zoom out. And because these are quick release, you just go like that. Okay, and then, oh my god, this is looking pretty damn good. So this way I don't have to worry about scratching them too. Okay, I think I got to just move it down just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Are you ready to see it? Oh yeah, this totally changes the look of it. Is this right? Okay. So this is the thing. Is this watch more a diver, or is it more of a driver? That's my little catchphrase for, I think, an upcoming video for this thing. And I think this is cool. I think this will work. Yeah, that. I'm so pleased though. I mean, I chose a gray that was just dark enough. I'd rather have it darker than lighter. If it's not going to be a close match, like if it's going to be off, I'd rather have it closer to being black or darker than lighter. I think that would have been, to my eyes, that probably would have been better. Plus, it would allow for the stitching to be more contrasty if it's darker. If they go with the lighter, it's going to lose that. And I do want it to keep that stitching lighter, more contrasty. You can really see it pop, kind of like how it is on here, but not overly. It's just enough. Make sure it's on there good. And let's put this on wrist. Let's see. Well, I'm on the last hole. This is my first time, but that's all right. I mean, anything, I have a whole bunch. I could add one more back there myself if I wanted to, but I'm going to ride with this. It's not too bad. And I'm not sure where my wrist is right now during the day. Has it swollen or shrunken? I suspect. Okay. Let me try to back it up to give some perspective. I think this is pretty cool. I don't think anybody... That's why I wanted to do this, because I don't think anybody may have thought or expected to give this particular look to this watch in such a way. I think this really helps make it look like a very cool motorsports kind of feeling or themed aesthetic design altogether. Oh, the bezel action on this thing is actually pretty darn good, if I haven't mentioned that enough. For titanium, a titanium watch with a titanium bezel, a lot of times this thing can be a really nasty feeling and sounding action, but not on this. What do you guys think? I think this works pretty darn good. Now, I probably won't be wearing this to work, at least not for the time being, just because, again, I wash my watches and there's no way I can wash suede, for one thing. Yeah, I think on the weekend or days, even on the weekday that I know that I'm off work and I don't have to worry about keeping my watches as clean. Like, I don't wash them every day when I'm away from work, though. That's only when I'm at work, because I have a kind of a dusty environment and really hands-on and stuff, and so I do prefer to clean my watches after work. But yeah, this is pretty sweet. This turned out, I think, pretty much exactly the way I wanted it to. Oh, I love it. I had a vision, and I looked for a way to bring that vision out, and I took a little, I basically spec'd this out sort of blind. I looked at their stitching, I looked at their designs of their straps, the color of their leather. You look around, you can see samples of these things and get an idea of what you're choosing should look like. And so I basically looked at this and that and kind of imagined it all together in my head and on paper or on screen. And I said, okay, let's go for it. For about 140, how much was this thing? Yeah, subtotal was 140 plus $15 shipping, so a total of 155. I'd say it was pretty darn worth it. This watch is slim. This doesn't have to be that thick. I mean, it would be. If I were to ever redo it, maybe I know now. Maybe I could make it a little bit thicker, and maybe move these holes up more, so that I can have at least one extra hole up here to make it. This is fine. I think in terms of not being too tight looseness, I think just being able to slip a finger into underneath your wrist and the strap is where you would comfortably be at. And I know this video went long. Hopefully you won't have any trouble uploading it. But I hope this gives you guys some insight into what you can do at Delugs. to get a strap made to be fairly perfect for a watch that you really enjoy, and also for this specific setup and this watch, I think this looks super cool. Yeah, I'll probably wait until I got a day coming off of work soon, so I'll take some better pictures and better lighting later. But I think I'll just enjoy this for the rest of the evening, and I'll probably switch off to another watch for at least the next couple of days. So anyways, thanks for watching, sticking here, and enjoy your watches. I know I will be, at least with this one, for a while.